Hello, Room 17. It's Miss Long, and I am here with a message for day 43. For day 43 being the next to the last day of school. So, yes, Room 17, tomorrow's our last day of school, and I'm just looking back at the entire year, how amazing and wonderful and interesting it's all been, and how we have been through so much together, learning from each other, learning about ourselves, learning about the world out there, and it's just been really, really awesome. So, Room 17, I am so thankful for all of you. Thank you for being my students and for allowing me to have that opportunity to watch you all grow and learn. And it's been just really cool. Okay, so I have been thinking about how to end my last message to you and how I wish you all the best. And I think that seeing how you are all going to continue to become more amazing than you already are, just by learning, growing, watching, listening, doing the things that you're passionate about, doing things that you love, right? Whether it's creating art or making music, learning about science and creating and doing all the things that you really enjoy. I really hope that you continue with that. And I know that we've had so much fun doing that together in our class. You know me, I love, love, love doing art with you. I love singing and creating music with you. And I've enjoyed doing that in these videos too. So we've got to do all kinds of things. We've gotten a chance to paint and to draw, do cartoons, do origami, even squeeze in a little bit of science, and of course, read a lot of great books. So for this last message, I'm going to finish up with a read aloud of a book that you've already read with me, but I thought it'd be a great opportunity to just revisit this book again. You'll see what it is. And then we'll do a little bit of painting, and then we'll wrap up our daily message with a sing-along of A Beautiful Oops. Maybe you remember that song, maybe you don't, but hopefully once I start singing it, you will remember. All right, so let's get started with the book. And actually, as a matter of fact, it is Beautiful Oops. And I wanted to share this with you again because life is all about learning, right? And just growing. And also, we make mistakes, right? So we make mistakes, but we learn from those mistakes. That's how we become better. That's how we keep learning and growing. So I hope you keep that growth mindset with you, and just keeping that for yourselves as a focus in your life. Okay. So Beautiful Oops by Barney Salzberg. Beautiful Oops. This is a beautiful book. Oops. A torn piece of paper. Look at that tear. Is just the beginning. Every spill has lots and lots of possibilities. This is such an awesome book. Bent paper, like this corner, is something to celebrate. A little drip of paint lets your imagination run wild. A scrap of paper can be fun to play with. A smudge and a smear can make magic appear. a stain. Look, there's a coffee stain. If you play with its shape, has potential. Oops, I'm skipping a page there. Holes in your paper, like this one, are worth exploring. So I don't know if this video or the camera you can see the holes looking in. Pretty awesome. Think of it when you think you have made a mistake. Oops. Think of it as an opportunity to make something beautiful. And that is a beautiful oops. It's all about making mistakes and how can something beautiful, something amazing, something surprising can come out of those mistakes. I'm going to read this too. When you think you have made a mistake, and what kid or grown-up hasn't, think of it as an opportunity to make something beautiful. All right, with that, we're going to play around with some beautiful oops of our own with a painting activity. So I'll be back and I'm going to grab my watercolors and some watercolor paper. If you have any watercolor paper, great, or you can just get some drawing paper and some pens or anything you have on hand, and we are going to create some beautiful oops. Here we go. All right, room 17, I'm back with my art supplies. I've got some watercolor paper, my watercolor palette set, and some pens, and I have my brushes off to the side. I know you can't see them, but here's my brushes in a water cup. And I'm going to, I guess you could say, kind of make some mistakes on purpose. So I'm taking my brush and I'm going to create just some random blobs, right? And blobs of color, and it doesn't matter what they look like, and don't think too hard about it. You're just gonna do just some random blobs, and they can be any size or shape you want. They don't have to be perfect circles, but just think of blobs, and they're gonna be kind of like our oops mistakes, just in blob form. And I don't know what I'm going to create exactly with these blobs. I'm just going to let my imagination later on just carry me away. And what I'm doing now is I can also maybe mix colors. I'm putting some red in with this purple. I think that's going to be really interesting. Maybe just mix the colors up a little bit. And if I have some little splashes or random spots or splotches, that's even better. It's just something I am making up as I go. Okay, I really like this blob a lot. Okay, so eventually you might come up with some favorites. So I'm just doing some random blobs of color. Here's like a yellow green. Maybe I'll add a little splash of green to that. And you can do as many of these blobs on your paper as you like. Maybe I'll mix a little bit of blue with this. I think that'll be nice. Okay. And then I haven't used a light orange yet, so let me use that. Maybe add a splash of red to that. You can also pick up your paper and let the paints run together and make interesting patterns or ripples or whatever you would call them, seeing how the color spreads. And let me end with maybe another green or blue. I'll take a blue-green. Put it here. Ooh, that's really nice. Okay. So the idea is you have these blobs of color, and you're gonna have to wait for this to dry if you've just done this yourself along with me. But I happen to have done this earlier, a bit earlier, and I made some other blobs, okay, before I created this video. So here's a one that I did earlier that's already dry. I'm gonna put this aside, and I can use this later, but what I'm going to do now is take my pens. This one's a thin one, and this is a thicker one, and see if I can create some faces or objects with these blobs, okay? And it's okay to make a mistake. So I'm seeing an interesting creature here. Okay, let me do this. He has a long nose. Maybe just carry that shape out a little bit. You can add some shapes above that. You don't have to stay within the blob. So maybe I can do some hair. Oh, that's kind of nice. I love that. I totally did not expect this at all when I was creating this. Wow, okay. So that is my first face out of that blob. Let's see what I can do with this one. How about, maybe like a feathery hat of some kind. So you really have to just go with it. You don't have to think too hard. And these are pretty amusing so far. Okay, I'm going back to this guy for some reason. I don't know why, but I am. And let me see, what can I do with this guy? Ooh, you know, I think this blob kind of looks like a frog to me, and I'm gonna see if I can make a frog come out of it, but I'm not sure yet. Maybe it'll be a frog-like creature, but not exactly a real frog. So let's see what I can do. It's kind of like it might be some kind of alien, who knows? Okay. Oh, I'm seeing something different come out. This is interesting. I am seeing, I don't know if you see it, like some kind of rodent or a mouse. Maybe a little tail back here. Some little paws. Huh, okay. Did not expect that. It's kind of a pretty chubby mouse. That's all right. Actually, I have an idea. Let's do that. Yeah. And what am I gonna do with this blob here? I'm gonna just jump around. Maybe okay, there's a face. Pretty loose, right? They almost look like cartoon characters, the way I'm doing it. And you just kind of follow the shading of, I'm following the shading of my blobs a little bit just to see if it suggests like a nose or some eyes or a mouth or some animal, right? This one, oh, I don't know what to make of this one, but I'm just going to go with it. This one's pretty crazy right here. It's kind of like a blob face. Don't forget a nose. And each blob seems to have its own character. Okay, I'm coming back to this guy again for some reason. Adding a little more detail. Okay, maybe some eyebrows. Yes. Okay, now for this one, look at that. I'm adding some horns. This guy has a beard, maybe a little mustache. Okay, and he has some big hunking shoulders here. Okay, all right, what am I going to do with this blob? Maybe, you could do some plants too. Like if you wanted to do just flowers, I could show you to do one flower later on with one of the other watercolor blobs. There's an ear. Then if I don't want to do, like if you wanted to do something like a plant, you could just make some flower doodles. You could do that too. You don't have to do creatures or faces or animals, but something like a flower design, and that would be quite lovely too. So this is how you make beautiful, like blob shapes into something else. You transform them. And with that, I think this will be a nice time to go into our sing-along of A Beautiful Oops. So here we go. I'll be back with my ukulele and we'll get to sing it together. Just a beautiful oops. Learning is messy, struggle makes us grow. Keep on going to succeed. Beauty is found in smudges and spills. It's just a beautiful oops. Make your best effort, try your best to do. Keep on going to succeed. Never give up on reaching your dreams. It's just a beautiful oops. Hope you will get there. All it takes is grit. Keep on going to succeed. All right, Room 17, that's my message for today. Have an awesome day and take care.